Grand Rise, Nagas, welcome. All the new subscribers and the lovely comments. I'm interested in meeting every new person that comes to gain their knowledge. Feel free to speak amongst yourselves, comment, and congregate. This is what we're here for. We're here to understand the values that we were missing in our lives to connect to the purpose of what we are and why we are here. You will also find out that you have been here for a long time. Like I speak in some of my previous uploads, this is only for Nagas. You'll tell when I'm giving out knowledge for the collective amount of people, because it'll be in my thoughts, the Naga's thoughts. You always see that title up here. I don't have direct answers because I don't know anyone directly. But through familiarity, we will figure this out together. I am led directly by the divine. I try to stay and I focus and I create practices to help me focus more on my first thoughts, my first feelings, and to stay in the path of what's pulling me towards it. My life lessons themselves, me personally, I've seen a lot of negative things. And I've also encountered a lot of people who've seen a lot of negative things. But the difference has always been the things that they encounter in their life. When it hit them, it stayed with them in an emotional context. So when they speak about their past situations or traumas, it also brings up the physical feeling that took place at that time. This is a subsequent value of high importance. The reason why this has high importance is because the attachment to the circumstance. If something happens to me, because I have a higher vibration of happiness inside of myself, I like to look at everything pretty much and find the positive or clown it, you know what I'm saying? Like I'll find, even with myself, like I've done this for years, like I'll see myself do something stupid or I'll trip and I'll laugh at myself, you know what I'm saying? So that's a personal practice of my own personal integrity. So I'll beat you to the punch before you can clown me, you know what I mean? Like I kind of steal the life out of it myself, you know, so. Understanding these different potentials that you can do for yourself will help you alleviate the value of how you look at circumstances that took place in the past. The emotional contact, it stuck with you initially, but feelings or experiences are fleeting. They don't stay. You hold on to them even when nothing is taking place. The deeper value to you understanding how to tell your story and remove yourself from the emotional aspect of it is to alleviate your personal views. When you take away your personal views, you make them null and void, and you look at the circumstance for what it was, your complete role in it. As soon as you start speaking towards yourself and what you did in it, you're going to have a gasp inside yourself. You're going to be like, should I say that? Baby, I know I did that, but stop being afraid of what you've done. None of us in this world are perfect. Even though all of us, let me start that over. None of us in this world are perfect consciously right now. But there is a group of us that might have been particularly manipulated in this system and caused things to come up through your DNA, through your ancestors. This is not you. Those are those things you be like, I really didn't, why that happen? And you can see how far out of self-control you are by the immediate response to certain things you do, and then you respond to yourself later like. But it can change. Over the process, you can change that to where you're at that point of the explosion of yourself, and you can be at the viewing station, looking at yourself about to do things, or looking at somebody doing something similar to you. This is growth and wisdom. But you first have to be willing to look at yourself from the particular things that you do now, just so you can graduate from the attachment to how you are manipulated. If you are manipulated in your own actions, you will never know how to alleviate yourself from that, because you won't look at yourself. Once you look at yourself, you separate yourself from that. Are you an adult? Are you mature? Do you know right from wrong? Are you conscious at all on any level? Well, play this game with yourself and watch what takes place. Play this game with yourself and watch what takes place. Look at everything you do. Stop pointing to I'm serious. Don't point blame at no one. Look at the little things that you do. Look at what you said at that moment. Look at your facial expressions. Look at the body motions. This is not to put you in a blame situation. This is highly important, because the first language we ever spoke was body language. So naturally, innately, your spirit speaks more to the body language than your mouth. So sometimes you'll be moving and you'll say something else. That's because you're not in tune with yourself. Get in front of the things so you can see where you're at. You're not going to be able to truly manifest the divine's desire for you that's placed in your heart, that you love so much, even the things you don't know. You won't be able to manifest this life that you're looking for, that's unconscious to you. You won't be able to manifest this life until you remove the manipulation that's on you. And that might be karmatic work you have to do. That might be things you have to break, that's going on in your family, that's been going on in your family for years, that subsequently came up through your grandparents, back to your mother, and back up through you, and now in your children, and so forth and on. You'll see a familiarity. You'll see a constant. If you're not in tune with your family, you think everything is fine. You don't care, and you just run off air. You just do stuff, and you end up getting in trouble with the system all the time. We got to break these cycles, and that's when you're going to start opening back up the gift that was given to you. You got to break these cycles first. Nobody gets out without fixing the problem. And it's not even about your immediate family that you have around you right now. It's about your ancestors. Your ancestors had this issue. And now that you have this light, and you have this foresight, and you have these things happening to you, and you don't know why, and you're trying to put it down, and you're trying to be normal with society, and you don't fit in, and all this other stuff that is taking place. That's happening only. That's happening only because they have to pay what the actions of residual energy of your ancestors are still here. But you are connected to that. You're like, if I had a plug strip, like the plug strips you plug in the wall to put other plugs to. So I'm connected to the wall, but I got other plugs. So the energy ain't really hitting nothing yet. You know what I'm saying? It's just there. So now if I plug something else into the plug strip, I can get electricity from a distance, right? Knowing that my ancestors passed over to the other side, and now they are clear in everything that they were living. How in the physical would they fix that? Don't get it twisted. We still divine beings, the spiritual aspect. So how will you fix that? This is why they look for the best loving child in each family, and the grandparents gravitate to them, because that individual is going to have enough love to lift the karmatic value off. Some people in your family want people to take blame. They want people to say, oh, woe is you. Instead of us looking at the situation for a solution and getting it up out of there. No, you want to reverberate the same energy over and over and over and over and over. Because you don't over, under, and understand nothing. You rather put blame. Oh, they did it to me. It happened to me. That's idiotic. On its highest level. That's in the same function of everything that brought us down as a people. The people who sold us out when we were protected behind the giant fig tree. Who sold us out? Some up in our cipher sold us out. Infection takes place. When the mentality starts getting affected by situations, it runs amok on its own. Don't let me hold you, but we're going to keep going. Y'all know I got probably 3-4 more for y'all today. So, like, comment, subscribe. You already know the vibes. Nagas. Love.